Welcome, musicians. Why am I not saying pedal people? But we're not looking at a pedal today. I saw Odla, that's what they're called, Odla Music, advertise their rather new product on Facebook quite a while ago. And wrote to them and said, this is a cool product. I would like to do a video about it. No charge, but, get me one, which is cool. So they sent me the product and I took a look at it and now I'm presenting it to you. So no money's changing hands, but I get to keep the product, which is €287 as of the time of the filming. Now, getting into notation software is a bitch. It is not easy. Because there's so much to learn, so much to know. Layout, so many different things. Even putting in notes with the mouse, not cool. With the keyboard, makes sense. With the keyboard, keyboard. But with this, now Dorico, which is Steinberg's notation software, actually makes this rather easy because you're putting in A, B, C, blah, 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 and you're actually pushing those letters on the keyboard, and you're using the block right here for note values. And I got around Dorico rather quickly as a total noob in the program, but for music schools, for people that don't want to take that plunge into, I want to learn all this stuff, how can we get people to write down music easier and more intuitively? That's what Odla asked themselves, and they did this. This is a keyboard, but it's very specific for music notation. And it's actually pretty damn cool. It's plastic, rubber feet, a little bit of a tagger on there. And now I did it. Now I disconnected it, which is a bitch because apparently, you're not supposed to touch it. I had some problems with that. This isn't supposed to flash. This is supposed to be solid. So we're going to try to reconnect that. It works with Dorico now. Now it also works with the free Muse Score software. So you can buy this, get the Muse Score software and get started immediately. You can also work in the free version of Dorico, which is great. And Steinberg offers, of course, more functions get unlocked the more you pay. So let's try to reconnect that and then go into Dorico and input some notes. So what I'm going to do is I will just disconnect this. Also close down the Odla software. Yes, I want to shut that down. And just reopen it. Probably should have reopened that. Oh, let's see. Oh, we got a solid light there. Why do I have all this note information in here? Well, because I filmed this whole video for an hour and then realized I didn't have the video recorder running. So we got a fresh sequence here. I made 2 cutouts because here's the thing. Odla Music has a really cool pop-up menu. Why all of a sudden does it show up here? Earlier it was behind this, so I made this. So apparently with every boot of the software, that pop-up menu pops up somewhere else. So I could have totally now not done my cutout. Okay, fine. Let me show you. Musical staff. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and so on. Pick accidentals. If you've put in the wrong note, adjust it up and down. Note values. Switch to pauses, then pause values. Put in a chord. Put in triplets, quadruplets, whatever. Put in a line. Don't know, doesn't do anything so far. Add intervals, which is way cool. Undo, redo, backspace or erase. Haven't used that for anything. Keys, of course. Make a dotted note. Don't know. That doesn't do anything so far. Again, I have not read the manual actually because I want to show you how intuitive it can be. Clefs, time signatures, keys, and lines. And this opens up a menu. So it would be nice if we closed it again, but no. You have to push this. So let's make this small for a second. I'll show you what the menu does. So now it's actually showing you dynamics, tremolo, articulations, and so on. How do you pick this? Well, very simple. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So dynamics, you would just pick that. So you don't really have to go in here. Of course, you can just go, where are dynamics? Right there. And actually, you can type in a P. This is actually rather simple in Dorico. Dorico is super intuitive, but the Odla is extremely intuitive, I gotta say. So how do I get rid of this now? Let's get rid of this. So yeah, you can do fine, but you kind of have to know that. And here you do this, dynamics, and 7. I mean, that's pretty much as quick as what I can do in Dorico. And then we have tremolo. Okay, don't need that. Articulations, loads of them. If I need more, there's a whole other page. You want this button a lot. Ornaments, don't need it. Bam. Note heads, if you wanted them. Not the biggest selection. Lines, you might want that. It doesn't open up everything that Dorico has to offer, but quite a bit. And anything else, you just do like you would usually do it in Dorico. So let's just put in some notes. So we have, you see the arrow? You see the note value? Let's change the note value. I can't do that. I don't know what I'm doing now. No idea. But you have to click on that. How to get to that mode is you hit a note, but I don't quite understand that because I didn't want to put that in. Unless, I mean, of course, I pick the first one that I want. So okay, here. We're gonna do super simple. I want a rest of an eighth note now. So do this. I'm already on eighth note. Do you see how the rest symbol on the left turns on? Then you just hit anything. There's a rest. Gonna go to 16th. Gonna do... Oh, I made a mistake because I need to be on notes and I'm back on notes. So, G, F, G, B. Now we want a chord. I want a C major chord. So actually like this. Don't hit it at the same time. Hit it after another. Ooh, I didn't want that length. Well, I'm doing this with the... I wonder... So if I hit Option Shift, I can do this with the keyboard. But can I do it here? Oh, there you go. Can I do it without Option Shift? Let's see. Oh, I don't have to hit anything. All you got to do is select it with Shift, and then you can change it just by hitting the new value. Good. Let's do a triplet. Oh no, we want an eighth note triplet. So how do we do this? We're on eighth note. Ah, see, now I'm not on input mode anymore and it doesn't accept my input. So we do this. Eighth note, triplet, and we're putting in... That's freaking simple. Are we back to... What if I continue? It continues the triplets. I don't want that. So I'll just do duplet. Bam, done. No, is that what I want? No. Okay, definitely not. Not 100% sure what I'm doing. Okay, we're gonna do another rest here. Bam, we're gonna do another chord. Turn rest off. Chord, we're gonna do an just F power chord. Okay. Didn't do it. There we go, didn't do it. Of course, chord. There, I mean, relatively straightforward once you know what you're actually looking for. I'm gonna go over here. Gonna punch in that I want a key signature. Gonna go 2 for D major. Gonna go over here and put in a D major. Let's do 7, D major 7. Turn chord off. And let's do 16th. So let's do this. Click on that. Double notes. I want a third below. Look at that. Go to the next one. This is freaking cool. I want a fifth below. Next one. I want another fifth below, but also I want a third above. Look at me arranging stuff. For some reason, I have to hold it in. Didn't have to do that before. But that actually makes a lot of sense. So while you're holding your weight, that's kind of cool. So, yep, jumping over here. Obviously, if I want to do something outside of the key, like a G sharp. There's a G sharp, of course, with freaking lines. So sometimes maybe, using the mouse is a good idea. Again, move notes up and down. Super simple. All the things, that I could do with the normal keyboard in Dorico as well. But within a very short amount of time, you kind of know what's going on. We're going to do 4. We have a repeat sign. Over here, I actually want to put in a different key. Number 2. Now, here, this now will actually read like the bass clef. You got to be very careful. This is not a C anymore, okay? So we're going to go with, that's a C. Isn't that how the bass clef works? Haven't done that in a while. Obviously, there's play, which it doesn't do right now because I got no sound set up. Don't know what that does. Metronome on and off on top there. This will bring up the main mode. Setup, write, engrave, play, and print, which is literally these things up here. So you can switch between that. How the edit mode works. Continuous view. Edit. Configure. Really, you could also just, use the mouse once in a while. It's absolutely fine. But for the basic note input, once you have it down, this is actually pretty damn fast. For anything detailed, just go and use the software as intended. But if I now wanted to put in an articulation, bam, there's an articulation. I want to make sure that this is dynamics, a little bit quieter. Bam. That's once you know how this runs, I think probably within an hour or two, you're good to go. $287. You say, well, isn't that a lot? Any specific keyboard, if there's a keyboard for Logic, keyboard for Final Cut, whatever, they're being sold and they're really just kind of these things with different colored keys on them. They're expensive. They're easily that expensive. DaVinci Resolve from Blackmagic Design, there is a special keyboard for DaVinci Resolve. That's $1,000, which is utterly ridiculous. It's a computer keyboard. I think it's got a couple of extra keys on it, but it's $1,000. So what Odla Music wants for this, I think is absolutely fair for something very specific. And I think for music schools, colleges, for musicians starting out to write and to take the fear away of getting into one of these programs, this is killer. I really think it is. Now, one of the things that bugs me a bit, and Steinberg product manager pointed that out rightfully so, is, let's go back here. So the 5 on the numeric keypad in Dorico is default 8th note. And then you learn that the middle is 8th note, 6 is quarter note, 4 is 16th. Now on the Odla, 5, so the middle, which would be 8th note, is quarter note. So their layout is different. If you are intuitively learning how this works, going into Dorico without the Odla is going to mess you up because you'll be off by 1. Obviously, Dorico was the second software that they did. MuseScore was the first, and those are the only 2 so far that work with it. But it means that if you're getting used to Odla, then jumping into the numeric keypad on Dorico with a normal keyboard is going to be a little bit of an adjustment. I think it's a cool product. Again, didn't get paid for this video. This is a very specific product for a very specific niche target audience. But I like that someone's using their freaking brain to make music notation easier. And that's exactly what this thing does. It makes music notation easier. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Odla, for sending this thing over. I will be using it. I think it's cool. And we'll put links below to Odla and Animals at the end.
It's pouring down from the sky, the coldest night of my life. I feel let down, it's no surprise. There's Hollywood you never showed. There's an empty seat next to me, 6:30. She's played it